Hello everybody, welcome back to Scrappy Adam and welcome to Simple Stories Saturday for July. And today I'm doing something a little bit different, not totally out there, but a little bit different nonetheless. And that is we are using a spring collection to document a summer photo / travel photo. And I'm using magnets on my layout today. Now this is Simple Stories Saturday, which is a hop organised by Joanne Bartle, and loads of awesome scrappers play along. So don't forget to check out the description box down below, where you will find links to everybody playing along. Please do give them a like, a watch, a follow, subscribe, comment and engage. It really does help everybody that creates here on YouTube, and we all appreciate it massively. So thank you. And of course, thank you to Joanne for organising this awesome hop, because Simple Stories is amazing. It is one of my favourites, so it's great to use up our stash. Now, I have a lot of Simple Stories. I have at least 2 Kallax cubes full, so I am spoiled for choice, but I love this collection. It is an old one. It's from last year's spring release, and it is full bloom. And it's full of bees and flowers and all happy things. It's happy. So I have already chosen my papers. I've got quite a few 12x12s left and also quite a few scraps. I have seemed to use specific papers, and I've also got quite a lot of the 6x8 left. I think, looking through this, I'm going to use these 3x4 cards and create some cards, because I have been making a few cards, which I may do a video of, we shall see. I also have quite a lot of the embellishments left, so we've got 12x12 sticker sheet, not that many left, but some. We've got 2 packs of the foam stickers. That one's half used, that one's a quarter used. We've got a chipboard, which is pretty much full. We've got a sticker book, which there is quite a lot left in here, to be fair. Got pretty much a full alpha, loads of words, some banners, lots of icons and words, and loads of flowers and circles, which is great. Got a full pack of the page pieces. And then I've also got half pack of brads, enamel dots, journal pieces, bits and pieces, and a full pack of the floral bits. I have used 3 packs of these, so I am really happy that I still have some left. I love these florals. I don't know what it is, but I really love them. They're just happy. So we've got plenty to choose from in this collection, and this is what we are using. So it's a photo of Vicky Bootin and myself when I spent the day with Vicky in London. We're outside a pub that had tons of flowers on it. This was Camden Street near Portobello Road. And I thought it would be fun to document that. And obviously there's loads of flowers. Vicky's a very lovely woman who loves flowers, so I thought it works. It was such an amazing day. So I want to document that. And I'm going to use these 3 magnets. These are 3 London-y magnets. They have nothing to do with spring, and they don't really have anything to do with the photo, to be honest. They are fridge magnets, as you can see. So we're going to incorporate those into our layout, which is something I have done once before, and they will then move, and it'll be like an interactive element. It's more for fun, it's more of a gimmick, it's not really serving a purpose, it's there as an embellishment. And it's just something a bit different. We're in London, you can see the sign for Camden Street. Apart from that, you wouldn't know we're in London, but I know we're in London. And I just thought it'd be a bit of fun, so that's what we're doing. I have cut a load of tags out of one of the papers, loads of different tags. I am probably going to focus on the reverse, because on the reverse they are plain with a patterned top, and that's what I want. I do have another sheet of this, so I may well create a little tag book, mini book, maybe one that's sort of double-sided and a bit of a flip album, just because I do have a lot of this collection left, so we'll see. We shall see. So I've got 3 papers. We have got this one, which is the journal elements, and I've simply turned it around and I'm going to use it that way. Let's see. No, I haven't. That is the way I'm using it. I've got this rainbow paper, which we're going to use this way. And then I've got this paper, which is probably my favourite paper. It was the ledger with the flowers at the bottom. I do have another one, so I don't mind cutting it up. I love the rainbow paper as well, to be fair. We could have used the rainbow paper had I not cut the paper the wrong way, but it was an offcut, so not much I can do. And that is going to go there, and what I'm going to do is make sure that it's a red dotted line at the top and the bottom. It's just a little detail. You won't even notice it really. It's just a little bit of my OCD creeping in there, which doesn't usually happen in scrapping world, to be honest. But on this occasion, it is. So we're going to stick that there. So this is a great way to use a pattern paper which is perhaps busy or it has quite a big pattern. I'm just going to trim that off. So if you have a busy pattern paper that you want to use, but it's a little bit in your face, then creating a big block in the centre and just focusing the top and the bottom or the sides will allow you to use that busy pattern paper without overwhelming yourself too much. Then what we're going to do is add in the red pattern paper as well. Now you'll notice I'm just keeping the adhesive mostly in the middle, and I'm putting the paper in the centre as well. Now I'm not getting a T-ruler out and lining it up and taking time to do that. I'm just guessing it by eye, and that's good enough for me. I know some people want it to be precise, but as usual for me, it's more about whatever looks okay. So that is the base of our layout. And now what I thought is, I thought we would have lots of tags sticking out at the top and the bottom, and then a row of flowers, basically. So we're going to have 2 things tucking in. We're going to have tags and we're going to have flowers. So what I'm going to do is take the tags and basically cut off that part. Now you could keep these and use the bottom half for something else. Am I going to do that? Probably not, if I'm honest, because it's just these sort of blank ones. You could keep the patterned ones, I suppose. But to be perfectly honest, I'm trying to use my stash up, and I know that I won't use them. So they are indeed going in the bin. I feel like I've still got my value because I've used these. So we could either have our tags sticking out at the top here, or our tags there, and then florals there. I think I prefer the idea of the tags at the top. And I'm going to do it quite randomly. So let's see. So we're going to go like so. And then let's have a rainbow. Now you will notice, the eagle-eyed amongst you, that I am not using, or I haven't made a hole for my tag hole. That is indeed intentional, because I thought about this and I have decided that actually, whilst we're not going to have naked tag holes, I'm not going to use my crocodile like I usually would. I am instead going to use enamel dots to cover that hole. I just thought that would be something a little bit different and would still mean we haven't got those pesky naked tag holes going on. So I'm just going to put a final one here and tuck that in about there maybe. Now you will notice that I have gone off the page on either side, so let's just snip that off. I do like to do that. It takes your design off the page and it keeps the interest on your page. Like so, so we've extended it right across, and I've mixed and matched it, tucking and putting them on top. And now what I will do, just to illustrate, I will go off camera to finish off down here because I need to cut a few more tags. But we are going to use these enamel dots and simply load them in the middle here. So we've got a red one there. I'm going to try to make sure I don't use the same colour as the like reinforcer ring. It's not a reinforcer ring, it's just the design of the tag, but you know what I mean. So we've got that, and we can have a pinky one, and all of these colours are of course in these dots here, and equally in the detail on the tags as well, so it works beautifully. Pop a blue one there, and let's have an orange one over here. One thing I have noticed with Simple Stories enamel dots, I don't know if anybody else has, the backing comes off it quite a lot, which is a little bit annoying, but you know, you can see I've used quite a lot of these enamel dots, but it is one thing I am not short of, so I can't moan. Okay, so that is the top done, so I'm simply going to turn my layout over, and we're going to repeat that at the bottom here, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so I have done both rows of tags. I've stuck the enamel dots on. I've been through the bits and pieces, the journal bits and the page pieces, and we have our pack of floral ephemera here as well as our other embellishments, which I'm just going to put off to the side. And I've got my magnets and photo here. I'll probably want to map my photo, which I haven't done yet. Now, one thing I need to do is take this off because I forgot one crucial element. If we are using magnets, I want them to be able to move, otherwise I wouldn't use it. So I have what is called a metal shim. It's really thin. You can buy it in most craft places. It's really sharp, so do be careful if you're using it. Now I've got quite a bit of this, so I've just trimmed off a little bit. Even though the magnets are this tall, all you need is that, and look, it sticks to it. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to add this to our page so that we can then stick on our magnets. So let me see just how much we need. I'm wondering whether we can get away with cutting this. So let's cut this back there. It just cuts with standard scissors. You don't need any special tools. I've cut it in half and we're going to sort of have it somewhere here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just place this back on. I want the photo to go about here. So I would say I want this to go somewhere about here, maybe. Sort of like this. So let me just move the photo and pop that there. I am going to use a little bit of Nouveau Deluxe adhesive along with a bit of tape just to make sure that we get it stuck. So I'm going to put tape first and then Nouveau Deluxe on top just to make sure it does stick down. Don't want it going anywhere, of course. There we go. And that should do it just fine. So I'm going to put our paper sort of like this just so we know where that's going. And then this is going to come in about here. And again, this one is going to come about here. And we're just going to press that down, make sure it's as smooth as it can be. Again, the edges are sharp. I have cut myself numerous times, so please do be careful. Now, this is a cracking way to have movable and interactive elements in mini albums. I have done it a few times, and a mini album that I am intending on creating with you guys during the course of a few videos, we will use some as well to create some moving elements within the album. It's just a fun way to get some interactive things going on, which I am a big fan of. Okay, so now we've popped our paper back on, and you can't tell that we've got metal shim under there at all. It's under there, it's protected, it's nice. And now, the good thing, just going to give these a wipe, just to make sure. Now, of course, as I said, this is Simple Stories Saturday, so our focus is Simple Stories products. However, we can bring in additional elements. So I've got a little plate of new flair, and we might use acrylic, we might use sequins, we might use ink, we might use cardstock, and so on. So the main collection and the main substance of our layout will always be Simple Stories, but we can use other products as well, hence why I'm using these magnets. So I'm now going to just pop these on here like this, and as you can see, they stick on no problem, but equally they can move around. And yeah, it doesn't really serve a purpose, I am well aware. It's a bit of a gimmick, but you know, it's quite a fun gimmick, and you can just keep moving them around as and when you wish. This could be if you're using them in a layout as opposed to a mini album. And in a mini album, they're a great way if you want hidden journaling, hidden photo, flips and flaps, or if you've got like a scene page where you've got lots of animals, or you've got an under the sea page where you want to move the boats or whatever. It's a great way for that. But on a layout, I guess it would be really fun in a children's album, because kids can then look around and you're engaging them a bit more as you're going through their storybook. So yeah, just a little idea. I'm sure you've all done it before. It's nothing new, nothing radical. But there we go. And now these will stick as high up as that. Let me see, as high as up as that and as low as that. So you can really just proper play around with it and see where you fancy going with it. So there we go. Now let's continue on with the layout. So I'm going to head over to my 6x8 pad to get some mats for our photo. Now I'm going to pick up on the colours that I have chosen for my tags. So we're going to use this because there is some pink in our photo. I am going to use the blue bees because we've got quite a lot of blue. We are going for a multi-matte for this. I am a big fan of multi-mattes. Let's have a bit of orange. It's a nice happy colour. And then let's finish off with, let's see. We're going to have a yellow as well. So I'll just get that matted and be right back. So there is our photo matted, and I feel like the 4 mats really pull in the photo. It really does highlight that photo beautifully, even with our movable part of our layout, which is a bit gimmicky, I know. I'm just having a bit of fun with it because that's what it's all about, guys. That is what it's all about. Okay, so I am going to use a little bit of fun foam because I want some dimension. We've got these magnets on there, so it's already a bulky layout, so why not just go with the whole hog and have a bit of extra dimension with our foam. So we've got our fun foam, fun because it's adhesive on one side, which makes it easier to use for us lazy scrappers. And by that I mean me. I'm just going to get some adhesive on here. There we go. And let's get our photo on here. So I feel like I want the photo to go somewhere about here. Can always move it should we need to. For now, that's going to go there. And then we can bring things around. I feel like I need to move it already. Wondering whether it should be up higher maybe, or lower. So I'm not saying we're going to use this sunshine title, but it is a possibility. So maybe we should have our photo a little bit higher actually. What do we think? Sort of there. Let's go with there. And again, we can always move it. Okay, so I'm going to push this up a little bit and let's see what flowers we've got in our floral ephemera. Now, a great way to extend the use of your floral ephemera is to chop it in half like that. And I'm going to dive right in and do that with this cluster and get this one stuck down straight away. So that is going to go there like so. And then I'm going to bring in another little one. So we're going to tuck some behind the red paper and some behind the blue paper, depending on their size more than anything. Okay. Just going to tuck this orange one in there. And I do want a couple of butterflies because I know Vicky loves butterflies, which is why they're always in her collections. And to be fair, I don't mind them at all. So if things are a bit too big, just chop it off. Chop the end off and away you go. Make your embellishments work for you is what I say. Don't be afraid to chop things off, move things around and make them work for your layout. Because we're all different and we all need things to be different. So we're going to just continue building all of our layers here. I'm not trying to fill in every single gap. That's not what this is about at all. We're just trying to get a good array of florals, shall we say. I'm going to chop this one in half. This is beautiful. So I'm going to use the orangey one at the top because we do have quite a big orangey floral at the bottom already. And then the daisy can come down here, sort of overlap with that one. We've got another one with a beautiful orange, so let's use that. That ties in nicely with that. So I'm going to pop that down here. So we've got things at different levels. I'm going to pop it up there actually. And then I'm going to use the other half of the same floral because it'll be the other way around on this level. So as you can see, we've got the different levels going on. Again, this is a bit too big, so I'm chopping the bottom of that off, making it work for my layer. We're going to pop that down there. And we're just going to keep building all of our florals. I am going to use one of these. Again, chop it in half. Especially if you're tucking, you don't want to tuck half a flower in because you're not going to see it. So get maximum use out of your goodies and chop them up. That's what I say anyway. And then let's tuck this one in behind there a little bit, like so. And I'm going to chop that off there. Excuse my arm across the screen. Can't get that up. There we go. So we've got that going there. And now I can use this one down here. Even though it's just that teeny tiny little bit, that will still work beautifully there. Helps if I put adhesive on it, mind, because it won't stick on its own. There we go. So I'm going to tuck that under there, like so. So we don't need an awful lot more, just a few more here and there. So we're just going to keep adding in all of our different layers. You want big, you want small, you want singles, you want multiples, you want, especially this collection, which is probably why I like it so much. They've clustered a lot of the florals for you already, which just makes layouts where you're doing something like this so much easier. Like, we're pretty much done already, which is just super duper. I am just going to see if we can build in a couple of extras. So I want a pop of yellow. So let's pop that in this bit here, like so. And I want something just here as a little extra, probably not orange because it is an orange floral. But we can certainly have red and pink. Oopsie daisy. And that is just going to go under there. If I can get it under there, that is. I've stuck that down too well. So I'm not sure if that's going to work. No. So I'm just going to tuck that behind that floral, and then let's add a bit of adhesive to that. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is just turn this over and chop off any excess, like so. And there we have it, guys. There we have our floral elements. I'm going to add a little pop of red. I love the red florals in this collection. So that's all going to go there. And then I do want to add a couple of sort of ladybirds and bees in and amongst all this. But as you can see, we've got tons of colour and tons of pattern going on at the top and bottom, which has been done purely by the tags and the florals, which is just brilliant. I love the way that that has come out. So I think I am going to add some of these brads, these small ones, onto our flowers just to give them a little bit more, a little bit of something extra, shall we say. So we're just going to sort of do a bit of tone on tone. So we've got a red with a red there. Let's have a yellow one with the orange. And you can always add them sort of off center. Don't feel like you have to add them in the middle of the flower, because it can always look, it can always work with it not necessarily being in the middle. I think we naturally always try and put stuff in the middle like that, but it can definitely work like to the side. Then at least you get to see all of it. I just like the way that looks. So that is that. Now, in terms of a title, we have got various options. We've got a lovely smile. We could have hello sunshine, hey honey, just bloom, blue skies and sunshine, happy day, full bloom. Lots and lots of options, actually. I did think about using this. So we've got sunshine there, and then we could use the hello from these stickers, which I've just seen and now cannot see. Where is hello? Or did I just make that up? Maybe I just made that up. Or we could have Sunshine Happy Day, but that might be quite big, maybe. Possibly a little bit too big. We could have Smile, but that might be a bit too much because that's red upon red. And, you know, although that does look like it could work because it's got the white outline. Let's see. I'm going to have to move that Brad, but that's okay. Let's just pop that on there. Yeah, I think we'll use that there. And then if I wanted to, I could, I'm just going to add that Brad there. We could add Sunshine up there, but I don't think we need that. So what about if we go to this part, use pack, no, oh, where's it gone? There, Blue Skies and Sunshine. I'm going to add that in at the top up here. I think we might actually add it onto our photo. I think I can get away with doing that there. So let's add that in there. Now I do want to add a butterfly, as I said, because I know that Vicky likes them. And we did see a couple because it was a gorgeous day. We did have some rain, so we just jumped on a tour bus and then got off once the rain stopped. So we've got a butterfly going there. And I also want to add in a couple of these bees, just because I love bees. I am a little bit obsessed with bees, with the whole Manchester bee thing. If that's not something you've heard of, do check it out on the Google. Okay, so we've got one there. Let's have another bee. Why not? Let's sort of put one in there. So they're just mingling in, and I also want to put a bird in. Again, there seems to be birds in all of Vicky's collections, and I've heard her say that she would always add one. So it's just little things like that that I know sort of don't necessarily have anything to do with the photo specifically, but they give meaning to the layout. And that's a great way to get some extra detail into your page. Now, I do want to add a little bit of journaling. So let's see how we want to do that. So we could do this in a couple of different ways. We could double tag it, or we could add this little birdhouse. Again, it doesn't really have anything to do with our layout, but I think that's okay. I think that would still work. What I'm going to do is I am going to chop down there. So we've sort of made this smaller. And then I think I'm also going to layer in this tag. So I just want to use a bit of double-sided tape. I've got this tape which is thin. And I'm just going to use a little bit at the bottom and a little bit at the top, like so. And that will then allow us to have two areas for journaling. So we're going to have our little birdie house come in about here, like so. And I do love yellow with red. I feel like it really does work. And then this tag will simply tuck in down here, and we've got ourselves another little subtitle. It says "This means everything." Pull that out and we can add a bit more journaling there. So I love the way that looks. Now, just to tie in some of the black, we don't have much black. I'm wearing a black top and a black cap, however, and we do have black from the bees and our magnets and some of the elements. So I'm going to use a little bit of black twine in this tag, just so it's clear that it's another interactive element. So it's a very interactive page for Simple Stories Saturday this month. I am a big lover of interactive elements, and it is something that I am going to be focusing on in the future with a couple of new things coming, because I feel like interactive just makes it a new experience and engages whoever is looking at our albums. And whilst I don't necessarily create my albums for anybody, because obviously no kids, etc., people do look at them, and I think the interactive elements, people are always, that's what gets them excited to look more. So if you mix in some interactive elements, you're just going to engage your reader a lot more, I personally think. It's not for everybody, but it can definitely work, and there are ways to do it so that you can still use your page protectors. Okay, we could add another element there. So I'm going to do that with this. This is another journaling piece. It says when and where. So then I don't have to use my journaling spot to give out those basic details. I can just use that little tag there. Because there's a lot to say from this day. We'd obviously spent the week together on the cruise, and then I went down to London for the day to meet Vicky and spend the day with her. Okay, I'm going to remove this Brad again because I want to bring in this flare. This is just a sketchy doodle part. So let's pop that on there, and we're going to sort of layer that in there. And I think we will also have, let's have a look. We've got this one that says amazing. These are plastic backed ones. There are various backs to them now. So let's pop that one up there, like so. And I also have a ladybird. It's just little details like this, just to add some finishing touches to the layout, and then I think we can call it done. I love the way it's come out. It's a bit quirky, it's a bit different, and I love it, I have to say. So I'm going to put another ladybird down there. Now I have kept the ladybirds to the bottom, whereas the bees are at the top and the bottom. Don't think I need anything else, although we could bring in a little tab here just for a bit of extra detail. So let's do that. That just says lovely in a lovely pink. Ties in the pink flowers for us. And let's just check whether there is anything else we want to add. A couple of foamy bits, but I don't think I need to add much more, to be honest. I think we are almost there. And this video has been longer than I wanted. I do apologise, but I did want to keep as much of it in as I could. So if you have, excuse me, if you have, of course, fast forwarded, then great. I totally get it. Okay. Just to finish off, I'm going to add a couple of wordy bits. So we've got basking in the sun, and I'm going to load that on top of the smile. And finally, let's add I love sunny days. I love sunny days. I'm going to add that into our floral cluster there and call this done. So this is just a fun way to get things onto your layout. Don't know about you guys, but whenever I go anywhere, I always buy a few magnets. I collect a magnet from everywhere I've ever been, whether it be a day out, holiday, trip, or anything like that. I saw these magnets when I was in London and wanted them, knowing that I would use them on a layout in some way, and here it is. on a spring collection layout with a picture of Vicky. I hope you have enjoyed this Simple Stories Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to check out the description box down below, where you can find links of Joanne Bartle, who organises this off, and everybody else who is part of the Simple Stories Saturday crew. There are loads of awesome creative ladies, and thank you to Joanne for letting me play along. I will see you next month for our August edition, and see you very soon for another video at Scrappy Adam. Bye for now.